It's November 29th, 2012, and this is Reality Supreme Being, otherwise known as the presidential candidate for 2011. On the air again. Alright, so you know, I've talked about all these other things, you know, about people, American citizens, tax-paying citizens, you know, and I've repeated myself over and over again. I'm pretty sure that anyone who's seen any of my videos, which are scattered and hacked on and edited by YouTube, I'm sure that a lot of you have, at least those of you that have ever tuned in, you know, I am the one who should have 10, 20, 30, 40 million views. I'm the one who should have, you know, all the support in the whole country. I'm the one who people should be listening to, not paying taxes. Screw the government at state, federal, and local until they can institute laws that can truly safeguard us from being kicked down the financial ladder because of some menial zoning law or some other piss-poor excuse to attack someone, anyone who doesn't drink, doesn't smoke, doesn't do drugs, never attracts the police to their home. I've had people make false reports on me. I think a lot of it is just jealousy. I don't think, I know, I'm convinced. A lot of it is jealousy. In the past, people were jealous because I was always home. You know, didn't look like I worked for a living, but I did. You know, I'm a research scientist. I have a background in nuclear physics. I have a background in biology. I have a background in the medical industry. I have a background in music. I have a background in composition. I have a background in quantum physics, chaos physics. I mean, it doesn't stop with me. And so what I'm trying to get across to you people, and nobody cares. You don't care. You're going to finish watching this, or maybe watch the first 5 minutes of it, because nobody listens to speeches that are more than 5 minutes. It gets boring. But when you're talking about a subject about innocent men, women, and children dying in all these wars, when you're talking about the human race having the worst track record, and if there are alien advanced civilizations, quote unquote, I'm sure they would look at this planet and go, God forbid, I don't even want to go there. That's all. Those creatures are nuts. We can't call them evolved beings because they aren't. They're used to the old habit of war. Frank Darrell makes videos about the history of the United States, covert activities of the CIA, you know, black ops, all this stuff. But you know, we're all born. None of us have any choice in being born. And I got a couple of notes here that I write just off the top of my head, and I do all these ad lib. So this one's going to be a good one, and everyone should be tuning into this, including the idiot person who claims to be president of the United States, the stupid people who vote for this plural system between Democrats and Republicans, and the media in the middle, part of the whole scam, because that's what it is, scam, S-C-A-M. It's the biggest ongoing scam for more than almost 300 years. And ironically, in the whole pattern of human history, there's only been about a little less than 300 years of worldwide peace in bits and pieces. I've said that in my other videos. But let's talk about all of us as just living entities. We're born, we learn, we get contaminated by adults who don't have the proper learning, or we're dysfunctional, so we pick up their dysfunctionality and carry it along with us until we get wise enough to get rid of it, especially women. Women get the worst of it. But they in turn also give the worst to the kids. They browbeat their little boys, you know, and women are always overtowering the men, and the men are, I mean, it's a spaghetti mess, a hobpotch of nothing but a mess. That's all I can call it. Because you don't have a good track history. Your track history of wars, death, and destruction is for more than 7,000 years. How would you feel in talking about wars if you were born? How would you feel about being born into any good or bad or a mixture of good and bad country, and 1 minute be plain, and then boom, your arms are gone, you're paralyzed? I mean, and that's if you're a young child, you know, and you're a young teen, and you're able to remember this terrible, horrible thing that happens to you. If you die, it's all over, so you don't have to worry about being paralyzed or suffering or having to lament on your misfortune of being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But on the planet Earth, there should not be a place where you are in the right or wrong place at the wrong time. The only time that should apply is, and then even then you do have choice. You don't have to live in an earthquake zone, a tornado alley, or in an area that causes that there are frequent natural disasters. I mean, you do have choices. So it's all over, even before you begin to live and become part of the future. Awareness is part of that future, and you build what I call awareness karma for your whole life. This is why they say older people should be respected. They're your elders and they know more than you do, and generally they do, if they weren't carrying still the psychological baggage from their past, the bad psychological baggage. But presidents do that. You can't tell me this president that claims to be president, or any of your leaders, any of them, all the way down to the local level, aren't carrying really bad psychological baggage. And in doing so, they institute laws, I call them vicious cycle laws, that end up kicking people like me, down to the financial ladder. Because people, the citizens, misuse those laws, make false reports about the person, and hurt the person. So how would you feel if that happened to you? How would you feel if that happened to your kids? I'm sure if this country was at total 100% war, I'm sure every parent who lost a child from some kind of friendly fire or any kind of fire would develop a hatred of wanting to kill somebody or kill or bomb buildings or do anything they can to get even revenge with someone who has caused them this great harm and anger. Anger doesn't go away. I just saw a movie last night called The Upside of Anger. It was Kevin Costner and these 4 girls and their mother. And you know, writers are real good at being able to point out psychological baggage and how there are good points and bad points to it. But it does not excuse you from paying taxes and being part of a collective that is done. And I showed you the pictures at the beginning of my videos. I go back more than 65, 70 videos in 2009. You saw the pictures. I showed you in living color. I put it up to the camera. I showed it to you. It was there. You saw that death and destruction. And it's on the internet. It's on Frank Darrell's videos. It's on all that stuff. It's even in comic book form. Frank Darrell calls his comic book Addicted to War, and shows the older George Bush in a tank going, war, war, war. What is it with you people? You're really sick. Obama, the Democrats, the Republicans, you're all sick. I don't care what comes out of your mouth, and I don't care about the media especially. They censor me. You'll never hear me uninterrupted, uncensored, unedited on NBC, ABC, or CBS, or CNN. And you know why? Because I make sense and I scare them. And it isn't my ranting and raving that scares them. It's the phrases I say that are interconnect through the quantum field of the universe to Martin Luther King, to Gandhi, to Christ, to Buddha, to any of those great philosophers that made sense of what they were talking about. I bet you people don't care. I sit here and I pay $1.50 an hour, or $3 an hour, to tape these things. Because guess why? I have a computer, but I don't have a safe place to do it from. Because if I had a place, you know I would continue attacking the United States forever, till the day I die or I'm assassinated, because that's how much I hate your country. You keep me prisoner here, and you've done so for decades. And you've done it to other people too. And you took their property. You used the color of law to take their property, their cars, their boats, their trailers, their possessions. You are evil, forcing them into storage places where if they falter on their storage at all, their storage gets auctioned off. If that is an evil empire. That is not a good empire. And Obama is nothing but a jerk, a two-faced, backstabbing, so was Bush, so was Clinton, puppet for the Bilderberg Group, the Trilateral Commission. You want to backstab someone? Mr. President. You give some attention to me, 100% attention to me. You share your lousy presidential attention with me, and I'll show you how to straighten the country up. But you know what? I want to do it from foreign soil, because you people are evil. You don't deserve someone as fantastic as I am, as fantastic as my mind has been molded to protect myself from the evils that you people are and what you represent, and what you won't do anything about. Oh, I'm too busy, I'm too this, I'm too that. You know, Dr. Phil is right. You're so used to the habit of being safe and letting someone else's children be destroyed in other countries that you don't care. As long as it doesn't come all the way over here and hurt me or my children, I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to continue living my life and be thankful that I can live in this safety. So, yeah, you can't become the future. And above all else, for what I truly believe, I am persecuted and destroyed in the many different ways that I've been destroyed, still suffering from its after effects. I go on to say, not only do I have the right to condemn all of you, but to censor and edit and banish all people involved, even so slightly, in such painful and horrific terroristic behavior. Because that's what your army, navy, military, I don't care whether it's Britain, the United States, France, Germany, Italy, you got an army and you kill people, even if you kill people by accident or on purpose, you're evil. I don't give a hell who you are. And your soldiers are even more evil. They're even more stupid because they're dumb enough to sign that contract to enlist. Let's see. We're 12 minutes into this, and I got to cut this off at 15 minutes. And so, what do you decide to call evil, sick, a mental case, retarded, me, or you? Yeah, what do you decide? To call me or you, the evil, sick, mental case, retarded person? Who are the constant contributors through your tax dollars to such horrific end results? You tell me. This speech will never be heard on worldwide television. Do you know what YouTube does now? I was smart enough to print like a whole thing. You know, you're only allowed 500 characters. So I separated it and copied and pasted separate sections of it quick enough that if you read through the boxes, box 1, 2, 3, 4, in sequential order, you'd get my whole message. You know what YouTube did? They now have blocked anyone. They've blocked anyone from being able to paste and copy and paste in those boxes. Get that? Can you believe that? So now I can't paste and copy my longer messages. Oh, I talk to them on YouTube, but what good does that do if I'm subject and in danger of being hacked and having half of my recording cut off and people not getting my full message? No, you're the evil ones. And I guarantee you, the crack in the Washington Monument is just the beginning of the bad karma that you people have dished out to me and other people like me. Earthquakes don't happen that often in D.C. or in the East Coast. They do happen, but not as often in California. So you think about that. You think about the quantum theory effects that I have covered in all my videos, and how bad karma, the idea of what comes around goes around, does catch up with you, but it's not done by humans. It's done by forces and powers that are far beyond your comprehension. It's 14 minutes and 40 seconds, so I'm about to run out of time. I'll talk to you later, I guess, if I'm alive.